Okay, so we've touched on why this generation finds spirituality so challenging, at least in part. What can we do about that? Is there anything we can do to engage in a more accessible way with spirituality?
Yes, I think we can. I think that the definitive answer to that question is Torah study. Torah study in general is an avenue of access to a higher world. A lot of it is counterintuitive to our consciousness in our generation, but it's a disciplined way of thinking. It trains logical analysis and insight and lateral thinking as well, and spiritual sensitivity. There's the division of Torah that we call Musa, which is the aspect of training, the facet of Torah which teaches personality building, which means overcoming one's lack of objectivity, one's vested interests. There are many themes within Judaism today that practice various forms of meditation, which I think is excellent, to open a higher consciousness. So I think probably the overall answer to your question comes back one way or another to Torah study. Of course, it has to be done with common sense, with intelligence, the correct agenda in Torah. You can learn a lot of Torah and just have technical information too.
Indeed.
Yeah. So correct prayer experience, correct meditation experience, so that one is open. Probably, perhaps the most of all is having a teacher who is clearly enlightened with respect, compared to one's own current level. You can absorb from a person who has clearly achieved a deeper insight. I think those are critical. Much harder, as you say, now than it was previously, but just as essential.
And you think doing these things can sort of generate a different mindset, a different way of experiencing life?
Yes, I think experience shows us that. It may be difficult. We are railing against a very loud and insistent culture, a culture of noise and superficiality. That clearly makes it much more difficult, but we see that people succeed. And
what tips would you advise to someone who wants to grow morally as a person and also to work on their humility? Because I think that's like one of the videos you did with us on JTV previously was saying how humility is like a central element of what the Torah asked of human beings.
Yes, I think that the conventional tool has always been studying the great works that teach that subject. Perhaps most classically Masilis Yesharim, The Path of the Just, in which he so clearly teaches the principles and also lampoons and mocks false modesty and the pitfalls one can fall into.
My favourite Golden Meir quote is, "Don't be so humble, you're not that great."
Fine. Well, the Buddhists say you can be proud of your humility. You can fall into that trap too. So again, it's Musa teaching that the greats of Musa would prescribe not only academic learning but also exercises. The great school of Novardok, they would deliberately, publicly humiliate themselves. Now, I wouldn't say don't try that at home, but nevertheless, they would put themselves into experiences that would break the ego. If one is serious, one can think about that as well. Engaging Torah at a high level is naturally humbling. If you have a teacher who's really worthy of respect, you can't feel pride in front of a person like that when you see how much there is to achieve and you haven't done so. So I think the opportunities to learn humility are certainly there. But it takes a will and common sense and effort.
Yeah.
To stay up to date with JTV content, click subscribe here if you're on YouTube and hit the alarm bell. And if you're on Facebook, hit the like button and under following, click see first. If you enjoy watching JTV content and want to help us continue to grow, please consider making a donation to us by clicking here.